Cost of Discipleship. That's the theme for our readings for this Sunday, the 23rd Sunday of Ordinary Time. Our passages reject the idea of the prosperity gospel, what Dietrich Bonhoeffer called cheap grace. Our second reading comes from the letter of Paul to Philemon. Over the next 3 months, we'll be reading from the letters of Paul to individuals, Philemon, Timothy, Titus. Philemon is a wealthy slave owner who has become Christian. And Paul is asking Philemon to take back Onesimus, a slave that had been helping Paul out while Paul was in prison in Rome, house prison. And he asked him to free Onesimus as a gratitude for all the help that he's given to Paul. This letter demonstrates how Christian love transforms our social relationships. St. Paul seems to be reordering the master-slave relationship into a mutual Christian relationship. Our first reading comes from the book of the Wisdom of Solomon. But most scholars, even dating back to the church fathers, doubt that Solomon actually wrote the book of wisdom. It was probably written much later, in between 250 and 100 BC. It reflects Greek philosophy. It was probably written, they believe, in Alexandria, Egypt, at the time when the Greeks controlled the philosophical world. Greek philosophy tended to have this thought of an impersonal first cause that created the world, that it just came out of nothing. It wasn't personalized. But the Jewish author of wisdom contends that, yes, there is a divine personal governance, a divine person that is over all of creation and the continuation of creation. Chapter 9 of Wisdom, where our passage for this Sunday comes from, reminds the reader that salvation is a gift of God's divine mercy, inviting us to trust in the mystery of God. That's the first step on the path to discipleship. In our gospel, Jesus is still on his journey to Jerusalem, where he will die on the cross. And he warns the people about the cost of discipleship, that they too will have to take up their own cross if they are to follow him. Jesus uses hyperbolic language, telling us that we need to hate our family members. And this is to emphasize the extreme cost of discipleship. When push comes to shove, we must be willing to renounce even family ties for the sake of Christ. Which brings us to our questions. How do I find balance between the need for strong family ties and support and the need for me to be able to stand on Christian convictions? In what ways can we strengthen the Catholic fiber of our families?